Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys had a great weekend, great Christmas. So back to work. Yesterday I didn't post anything. Obviously, I wanted to spend time with the family. I hope you guys did the same thing. So we're going to get into miners versus Bitcoin, see how they did for the week, and then we'll take a look at also each individual stocks, see how they did, and we'll look at the comparison for them. So, and then also another video is coming up after this one. It'll be on Iris Energy. I promised you guys that I would do a deep dive on them, and I finally finished it. So that will be coming out later on after this one, probably around 7 o'clock or so, Central Standard Time. All right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is at 51,036 right now. We have broken this kind of downtrend line here that I just drew in here. So we can kind of see that we were in this kind of negative facing pattern here where we're going down. We've obviously broken out of it here in the last couple of days here on, looks like Thursday. This is Sunday, Saturday, Monday, or Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. Yeah, so it was Thursday we broke out of this line. The other good thing is that we're seeing on here is the 20-day moving average, which is the red line here, has now, if Bitcoin finishes out the day, which has got another hour to go, if it finishes up where it's at right now, we're going to have a basically cross over, back over on the 200-day moving line, which is this blue line here. You can barely see it here. But that will be a good sign. That might lead us going forward to go forward, and we may not see that dip that I was thinking we may see where we go down to the 44 or the 40,000 line here going into the next couple of days, weeks, obviously. So that was a concern that we had here, but right now it's looking relatively positive, so that's a good sign. We'll have to see obviously how this plays out. Volume is low. We'll see how tomorrow shapes up. Tomorrow's Monday. Stocks are trading. Everything's trading again tomorrow. So we'll see if we get either a push up higher or a push down lower, which would be unfortunate if we go down lower because I think we may start going back up higher here into the end of the year and then possibly into the Q1 with some of the selling pressure being done and over with here. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's take a look at Ethereum really quick. Ethereum is still bouncing between the, what is that, the 20-day and the 50-day. So the 20-day crossed the 50-day here. The red line is the 20-day and the green line is the 50-day. And it looks like it is just struggling to get above the 50-day right now. I mean, we see this couple days here now where we went over it, finished below it, went down, back and forth. So we're kind of in this kind of, I would say, accumulation phase right now in the last couple weeks here in Ethereum. And it'll be nice to see if it can actually break above it and continue on higher. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. So let's take a look at the miners here really quick. But before we do that, let's take a look at the hash rate of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin hash rate has obviously come up to a new high here. We had it on December 9th. We reached 181 million. And then we've fallen since then to a low of 165. But we've since, that was on December, what was that, 17th, 18th. And we've continued to go back up higher. So obviously as the price of Bitcoin is starting to slowly rebound a little bit, so is the hash rate going back up as well. A lot of miners are getting installed, so that's possibly why. If we look at the network difficulty, we can see the network difficulty is increasing. We had a high here of 25, and we are at right now at 24.24, so we're getting really close to our all-time high that we reached back in May sometime. And then miner revenue. If we look at the miner revenue chart really quick, we can see the miner revenue is going up a little bit. It's gotten better, obviously, as Bitcoin has increased in price, but we were as low as 35 million, 35.6 million, and we've increased to about 47 million payout per day for the miners. So that's a good sign that we're increasing again. Hopefully Bitcoin will continue to go up because obviously this is an arms race with all the miners. The more they install, the more difficulty there's going to be. The lower their revenue is going to be as well. So they need to get miners installed in order to stay competitive. All right, let's take a look at the miners themselves here. So Argo finished out nicely on, well, this is for Thursday because Thursday. Thursday's when trading stopped for the week because Friday was obviously Christmas Eve. So everything was shut down on Friday. So we got all the data for Thursday, and Bitcoin's data that I'm using is going to be for the end of Friday, as normally it would be. So Argo was up 9.6% to $1.37. We've obviously broken out of this decline here that we were in. I think we're going to go above it as long as Bitcoin goes up as well. Bitfarms, same thing. Nice push on the day. It was up 13.73% on Thursday. It is now above the 200-day moving average. It is now trying to get above the 100-day moving average, which will be nice to see. And obviously, we've had the 20-day cross, not only the 50-day, but it's looking like it's wanting to cross the 100-day. So we want to get above that going forward. I checked also all of the institutions and the analyst data on here. I'll show you guys that. And then once we look at the miners themselves, but nothing has changed on that. So we'll keep you updated on that. Cleanspark was up nicely as well, was up 5.77% to $11.91. And it has broken out of that downward trend as well. It is way down from where it was, just like everybody else was. And that's based on Bitcoin going down. Digihost, same thing. Nice couple days here of positive green candles. It is now above the 20-day moving average. It's battling with the 200-day moving average. And we can see that it actually went above it on Thursday, but closed below it just a little bit. So good sign there. DMG blockchain is now battling with the 20-day moving average. It had nice 2 days up, 1 day down, and it finished out the week at 72 cents. It was up 9.84% on the day. Hive was up also nicely, 7.37% up to $3.06. Hive did provide us some numbers that we covered in a previous video that was out a couple days ago that I did that. I think I did that on Christmas Eve for you guys. Posted that information, so they're up nicely as well. Hot 8 was up 7.49% to 875, and you can see this downward trend here. It was broken out of it, so that's a good sign as well. It is above the 200-day moving average, and we obviously had the crossing of the 20-day moving average with the 50-day and the 100-day moving average. So we want to see that pattern continue going up, and all of it is based on Bitcoin. IRAN is a new one that I'm covering here, so this is the first time you guys are seeing it in here. But there will be obviously a video on Iris Energy coming up after this one, doing a deep dive on them. But they were up 1.18%. They were at 1716. Obviously, they went public back in November 17th, and they've obviously been going down, way down. They do have a lot of potential, I think, going forward, but they are pretty small right now compared to the other guys. So we'll take a look at it once we get into the deep dive on them. Marathon was up nicely as well. It was up 11.72% on Thursday. It was at 38.13. Had a nice day up here. It is now above the 200-day moving average, which is good. Obviously, we've also had the 20-day moving average cross over the 50 and the 100. So we want to see that pattern continue going up higher. Mawson Infrastructure had a crazy couple of days here, or weeks actually. Had one great week where it was just going up like crazy. And that might have been, obviously we covered the story on this, just maybe some pumping by the company. And some articles come out that they paid for in USA Today, and others that might have driven the stock up higher. And we've obviously had a little correction here on them. And they are now battling with the 20-day moving average. So if they can get above that, we might be in good shape. And then we got Riot as the last one. Riot was up 8.68% to 25.67. It is way below everything that it had before. Obviously, you can see here the trend line. Let's see if we can go all the way out just to kind of give you guys a look at it. So it's been hovering for a long time, since May, on the 200-day moving average, and then obviously broke through that to the lower side on September. It's kind of stayed below it. We had a nice little pump here on November, and then it obviously came crashing down as Bitcoin came crashing down as well. So we obviously want to see them going back up higher from here. Okay, so let's get into the actual miner statistics here that we got for them. So here's the updated spreadsheet that I use for you guys. This is on numbers. So we got Bitcoin at 50,822 right now. And this is from when I last did this. So this is actually from Friday's numbers, 50,822. Then all these guys are from their Thursday numbers. All right. So Argo obviously finished out the week. Before we do that, let's take a look at the institutional shares here. So I updated all of my sheets here. So if we look at like Argo, I put in the last time it was reported for the institutions, 1031, how many institutions were in, how many shares they had, percentage owned, if there were any analysts for it, like buy ratings, strong buys, or holds, underperforms or sells, and then if they had an actual high, average, and low price target on them, it would be in here as well. So I'm working on instituting that as well into the Miners Weekly and the Miner Comparison, so we can see what the analysts are also thinking as well. All right, so based on institutions alone, if we look at it here, we can see that, let me see here if I can, there we go, sort descending. So Riot has the most institutions on it. It's got 291 institutions, but institutional percentage-wise, it is not number one. It is number two, I believe, sort descending. So actually, Riot is number three. Cleanspark is number one based on institutional ownership. And then we got Hut 8, Argo, Bitfarms, Hive, Iris Energy, Mawson, DMG, Digihost, and obviously Bitcoin. There's not many institutions, or at least none that are reported. We would have to do a lot of digging to figure out which institutions own how much of Bitcoin. And then obviously the institution ownership on it, we just did that a little bit here, sort of descending. So 291 is Riot, Marathon is number two, Cleanspark is at 124, and Hut 8 is 101, Hive is at 90, 84 for Bitfarms, 841 for Argo, Mawson has 9 institutions, DMG has 7, and DG has 3, and Iris has 1. Obviously Iris being a newcomer just out in the market here in the last 30 days or so. It's not surprising that they only have one institution buying shares in them. So now if we look at the weekly change, so on the weekly change, let's sort descending here. So Bitcoin was up 10% on the week basically from the previous week, and we got Marathon up $4.28. Riot was up 243, Digihost was up 130, Marathon or Bitfarms was up 107, Hut 8 was up 95 cents, Hive was up 47 cents, Cleanspark was up 20 cents, Argo 12 cents, DMG was up 12 cents, and then Mawson was down actually 54 cents, and so was Iris Energy. So those guys were down for the week, and if we look at the percentage-wise, the best percentage gainers were, let's see here, Digihost actually did the best. They were up 36.52%, followed by Bitfarms was up 22%, and DMG was down 1977. Hive up 1977. Hive was up 1815. Marathon 1264. Hut was up 1218. Riot was up 1046. Bitcoin was up obviously up 10%. Argo was up 9.6. So and Cleanspark was up 171. So everybody above here did better than Bitcoin did. Everybody below here, including Argo, Cleanspark, Iris, and Mawson, did worse than Bitcoin. And usually that's what we normally see is Bitcoin going up 1%. These guys will go up 1.5%, 2% higher. Typically, usually it's like a 2x difference between the two. And then obviously if we look at the 4-week chart here, we can see that the only ones that were in the green, if you bought 4 weeks ago, would be Digihost and Iris, it looks like, from 4 weeks ago when you bought in. But that doesn't seem to make sense. I'll have to look into this one here because I think they've been going down steadily since then. So I'll take a look at it, see if there's something wrong here in my numbers. And if we were obviously 8 weeks ago, our biggest, everybody was in red, and then only 12 weeks ago, had you bought Digihost, Bitfarms, or Hive, you would actually be up on the share price and in your portfolio. So based on the information we have here, if we look at it here, so here's the 1 week percentage gain. Obviously, Digihost did the best. It was up 36.25%, followed by Bitfarms, DMG, Hive, Marathon, Hut 8, and so on. And if we go to the 4 weeks, we can see that only Iris and Digihost were up. Everybody else was down. The biggest losers were Cleanspark, was down 12.75%, followed by Riot, and then we could probably go to Marathon, Bitfarms, and probably Mawson. Then if we look at the 8 weeks, everybody's down. The biggest losers during that period was Cleanspark, was down 41.85 for the 8 weeks, followed by Marathon, and then we could go to probably Hut 8. So everybody was pretty much dead on that one. And 12 weeks, we can see that Bitfarms and Hive are the only ones that are up for the 12 weeks that you bought back then, and along with Digihost, up slightly. Biggest losers for that period would be DMG, Marathon, Hut, and Cleanspark, along with Mawson. Those guys lost the most. So all in all, good signs going forward for Bitcoin, I think. You know, hash rate is increasing, so is the price. I don't see anything else that is of concern right now. Obviously, there could be some FUD coming out later on during the week or something like that, but we are obviously going to finish out the year this week, and then we'll be into the 2022s. So we'll see how that plays out. Right now, I think Bitcoin will be fine going forward based on the chart. If we look at it again here, where did I have it? Right here. And I think we'll be okay. I think as long as we stay above the 50,000 mark, I'd like to see us to get at least to 52,000 and continue on up higher. We should be okay. But you just never know with Bitcoin. Any kind of little FUD could happen, and it could be, a game changer where the price goes down. But overall, the market's doing great. At least it did great on Thursday. Miners did great. Everybody did pretty well. Some did better than others, obviously. And that's all I got to say. A lot of guys are installing miners as well. We report, obviously, Hive installing miners, Riot, everybody's installing miners. So we'll keep you guys updated on those as well when that happens. And then, like I said, we'll get into the video on Iris Energy here afterwards, and that'll be out later on today, 7 to 8 o'clock, something like that. So that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys thought of the numbers. Obviously, a lot of miners are down for the week, for the 4 weeks and the 8 weeks, and some are actually up for the 12 weeks. So it's kind of surprising. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think of the data, and we'll call it a day. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.